Hey guys, I'm Shonali Thomas, and today we are making one of my favorite things, charcuterie boards. I've got my daughter Shayla and my friend Jessica, and we're going to show you two different boards, how to entertain anyone who's in the room. Hey guys, we are making some charcuterie boards today, and Shayla is here with me, my daughter, and my friend Jessica, and we're gonna make a kid-friendly board and we're gonna make an adult-friendly board, but really they kind of mesh together because Shayla likes to eat all the same stuff that we do, but maybe some kids don't like to eat all those things. So I figure if you have two boards and you're a little greedy like I am with this blue cheese, then you have your own board and then you've got another board that the kids can eat off of with, some kid stuff. So no good party, like I said, starts without a cocktail. So Shayla is gonna have a little junior mule. So we're gonna make hers first. So we have a fancy little glass for her, and we have fancy glasses for us. Shayla is gonna have a little ginger drink here. And then you're gonna squeeze a little lime in there, okay? Put two of those for you. You wanna squeeze that in there? All right, and then you and I are gonna have a little rosé. One of my faves from Northern California, which is where I'm from. I'm a little bit of a wino. So, a little or a lot for you.
Rosé all day.
And a lot for me. All right, so we'll keep this back here. You got your limes in, girl? Cheers. Thank you for joining us.
So why did you choose a rosé for this?
I think a rosé is something that when you are having people over, it kind of doesn't depend on what the time of the day is. And I feel like they say, rosé all day. You could have it in the morning. In the morning sometimes. Some of us are day drinkers. Some of us are not. But you can have it in the morning, you can have it at lunchtime, you can have it in the afternoon. A red wine would go fabulous with this. A Chardonnay would go fabulous with this. I just love rosé, and I know she loves rosé. Her and I don't drink the same kind of white. She likes Sauvignon Blanc, and I like a buttery Chardonnay. And this one's not a wine drinker yet. So we are going to start our boards, and I'm going to give Shayla her board. So we're going to go perfect. All right, so Shayla has a beautiful little board that was handmade for us, and it's a little Lazy Susan fanciness. And then Jessica and I are thankful for being friends, so we're gonna use my little thankful board. I love any kind of board or platter that you can use for serving, and of course, in my professional life, I do tons of catering jobs, and so I have a million boards and platters and really cool things. I try to find unusual things that it's really going to catch someone's eye because I feel like people eat with their eyes. And so if they find a board that looks cool, they're going to find what is on that board and want to eat it. So Shayla has some kid-friendly, but they're also adult-friendly stuff. So we've got all kinds of stuff for you, honey. We have grapes. We have some little pickles, little sweet pickles. We have cubed salami, cubed cheese. We have some of these yummy little pepperoni wrapped mozzarella sticks. All kids love carrots. We've got a little ranch to go with that. Some apples. So I am going to let you go to town and build your own board. How's that sound? Good? All right, there you go. Jessica and I have, and I know you love prosciutto, so I'm going to let you have at it with that. So I think the key to a nice board is a variety of cheeses and a variety of meats, and then all the little things that go along with it. I teach classes on how to build charcuterie boards, and it was kind of funny because A, it's hard to say, and B, I think a lot of people are intimidated by them, which I was too when I first went to make one. So I really just went to the internet, everyone's best friend, because everything on the internet is true. And I just looked at all these other boards and I was like, holy cow, those look cool, but how do I make it like that? And really, if you just look at them and use your imagination and just kind of start building, in the classes that we do, we have stuff out just like this. And I tell them, I teach them how to make meat flowers and that kind of thing and how to cut your cheese to make it look interesting and that kind of stuff. But really, use your imagination just like Shayla's going to do and put all the things that you want on your board. Make sure that board is all filled up There's no empty spaces in there. Throw some extra fruit that you've got in the fridge or something to fill up all those little gaps. So let's make some yumminess. See, I always start with a cheese. You don't have to, but that's just what I do. Trusty cheese knife. If you know, a cheese knife has the holes in it, and it has the holes in it because when you go to cut the cheese, sorry, it doesn't stick. Okay. So I've got this giant thing of Havarti, which I do love me some Havarti, but we're not going to use that whole thing. And I feel like I put the cheese somewhere on the board and I like to place it and get it to where I'm going to put that. And then I put everything around it. So we've got a little brie, and you know, brie comes in a round or a wedge. And if you will find that when you leave a piece of cheese like this whole, no one will touch it. So what you have to do is you have to like cut little chunks so that people will think like, oh, it's okay to touch that, because no one wants to mess up a piece of cheese. So all I do is just cut little cubes, pretty little diamonds instead of doing slices. You can see that I'm just doing like that, okay? So we're gonna place this on here and we're just gonna make this kind of drop it on there so that it looks like it's fancy. That was fancy, right?
One of the things that you do is it's really important to have all the cheese at room temperature, right?
Yes.
When you do this.
So a lot of cheese tastes very different when it comes straight from the fridge when it's cold. And a lot of cheese is meant to be served at room temperature, especially like a Roquefort or a blue cheese, Gorgonzola type. A lot of people, this is an acquired taste, but I love blue cheese. I've been eyeballing this and I just need to eat some. I know you want some. You can have some.
Okay.
Blue cheese, of course, the blue is the actual mold that's in there. That's healthy. So I think if you eat a lot of cheese, you'll live to be like 100. And then drink the wine with it, it'll be 110.
And add some chocolate.
Yes, we have
years.
chocolate. Look how pretty this is. All right. You want to put some more stuff on there? Okay, so our Havarti, I'm just going to, you see how I cut that kind of in a little bit of a square. And now I'm just being creative. And creative with cutting the cheese.
No pun intended.
None. Okay. And then take it, fan it out. Voila. You have fanciness. Okay?
Beautiful.
That's good. Next, our Roquefort. Let's just take this. It's already kind of broken up and put it just like it kind of was on the plate. Now, you guys see this cool board that I have that everything is actually sitting on. This is a butcher block that I had custom made. And I was thinking the other day that, goodness, if I just had a bunch of people over, I could just push this to that end and this could be one gigantic charcuterie board. It would be the coolest thing ever. Pretty sure no one would leave the kitchen, which no one ever leaves the kitchen when they're here anyway.
I'd like an invite to that.
You're always invited. Okay, so we're gonna take some grapes. And I feel like grapes are kind of like a center. Always snap while you're doing this. So grapes are like the center part of it. Stack them up. Make them look cool. Use your imagination. Look at that. See? Okay. Get in here, girl.
All right. Do you want me to start working
on some of the meats? So we got our Havarti. How about you do one of these?
Okay.
And we'll get that placed. Let's put that, let's make this go this way. And sometimes you got to rearrange. Let's put this guy right here.
Okay.
And then we'll get our meats rolling. Beautiful. Thank you. So I have 3 different kinds of salami. A lot of times you can buy a charcuterie pack that has like the meats in it that are already sliced and stuff, and then you just want to have a variety of different ones. So even if you have 3 different salamis, like we've got the peppered salami, we've got a calabrese salami, which has a little bit of spice to it, and then this one is just like your everyday salami. So, and then we have some prosciutto, which is an Italian cured bacon. So, or ham. Same thing, ham, pork, bacon. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys what I like to do. And I'll make some meat flowers with the prosciutto because everybody loves those meat flowers. So I really just take your meats and just fold them. Instead of putting them out just like this, just fold them. Fold them and start making pretty designs.
Are you tucking it under?
I am.
Okay.
You just kind of go around. It's quick. Oh, the chocolate dog is in here because he knows that we've got meat in here. And not that he gets a lot of salami, but he knows that we have some veggies in here because he loves his veggies. Hi, Bubs. All right.
Are there any types of like standard salamis or meats or that are like go-tos for a charcuterie board?
No, I feel like you pick what you like, and you always want to make sure that you pick a couple of things that you don't know if you like those, because you want variety and you want your friends to be like, oh, what's this? You know, have a little. Make sure you always have variety. I think that gets people who have never had, let's say, a spicy salami to try that spicy salami because it's on that board. So you just keep on rolling like this, and let's make a little meat flour because these are fun. All right.
Would you like me to do this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So prosciutto comes thinly sliced. You can see it's got the little fat end on here, which I like to use as nice save as the top of the flour. So you take this, and I just use my 2 fingers and wrap it, fold it over this way. This takes sometimes a little bit of practice, and just keep twisting it, just like that. And then you roll it off your finger.
That's how you do that. I've always wondered that.
If someone would have said I would have been someone who can make a meat flour, no one would have guessed that. But you know, you got to make things pretty, and meat flours are the way to go. I've seen a bouquet of bacon flowers before, which I would eat that. I would take that. Husband, note to self, I would take a bouquet of bacon flowers, bacon roses. Look. Oh, so pretty. See? And then you just kind of go around like that. And then if you see how it's already like that, people will just pick that up, and that's like a mouth-sized piece. And then you just take a bite-sized piece. And a good thing to also do is, you see our little name tags here. My friend Angela, she actually makes really cool little stands that you can stick into the cheese. So I use those for parties sometimes, but if you don't, you can always just use like a really cute little board like this. And I mean, you could even like be creative and, I don't know, stick it in the cheese. And we've got brie. So at the very end, we'll do that because we don't want to get all messy first. All right, so you're good on that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then we've got bowls, and we've got some, look at how pretty this is. You want some prosciutto?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's see. Let's get you a piece. There you go. And pull that off the plastic.
Do you want me to keep prosciuttoing?
Sure.
You know.
Practice your meat flours. Impress your husband when you get home.
Okay.
All right, so once we've got a few things on here, we want to make sure, because we've got bowls of spreads, do like a pepper jelly. I have a very popular pepper jelly that we sell. It's sweet and spicy, and it goes perfect with the cheese. You could be so creative with this. You can always, we've got these fruits and nuts, dried fruits and nuts. So I've got these, have you had these chocolate cocoa covered
Yes.
almonds are the bomb. So we've got a little bit of that because you want a little sweet, a little salty, a little creamy, a little crunchy. You want all those umami flavors, and that's what that is. Umami is like one of all of those sensual flavors in your mouth that you get. Sweet, salty, crunchy, soft, all of those. There's 5 of them. I'm missing one, but I can't remember what it is. I made this. This is super easy. It's just a little dark cherry compote. And all I did was I got dried cherries, which is what these guys are. I put them in a little pan. I poured a little bit of water on it to reconstitute them, and just let them come back up to life. You could also use a little bit of wine in there. A little bit of red wine would be fantastic. And I just put a splash of, or a sprinkle of pumpkin spice in there. And it just gives it a slight, it goes great with cheese. So we're gonna stick that right there. We have some dried fruit. And sometimes with the dried fruit, I just like to toss it in there. You can see that?
I love the colors.
Yeah. So
like
we're going to give you more of those.
Piece of art.
Chocolate. We need to put some chocolate on there, right? This, oh, there he is. Chocolate. He's like, chocolate? I call him Chocolate Dog. So anytime the word chocolate comes out, he's like, what do you have for me? All right. So I think that We've got, oh, I have these dried blueberries. Let's put
Can
some
I
of those in
ask
there.
for one of my favorites?
Please do.
Do you have any bacon butter?
I do.
Okay.
All right. So I sell another thing that's called bacon butter. And it's not butter, it is butter. And I happened to make a batch the other day and I had a little bit left, which I meant to give this to you actually. The best. Oh, I forgot. So this is a cooked down bacon and onions. And then once it's kind of cooked down, we stick it in the blender and we put a few other little surprises in there for you, blend it all up, and then it becomes a little spread. So you've got, it has a little molasses in there, so it's sweet and salty and all those things, and it just hits all of those umami buttons like I was saying earlier. All right, so we are just finishing up the final touches to our beautiful charcuterie boards. So you can see we've got all of our little salami and meats and prosciuttos and stuff tucked in there. I grabbed a little shot glass because it's nice and tall and skinny, and I got some of these yummy little chocolate, these are cookies and cream, which I thought the kids would love, and some dark chocolate, and they're just these little chocolate dip sticks. Stick them in there for a little element of height and low. You want things that are like built on top of each other, flat, tall, little. Even if you're using a bowl and you stuck it upside down and stuck a piece of cheese on it and like dropped the cheese from it, I think all of those things are what's gonna like attract someone's eyes to it. So always you want to make sure that we've got adequate enough or amount of knives and spreads and spoons and that kind of thing. So I'm going to give you our little fork that you can use, that they can use for your little pickles. Oh, I want some pickles on ours. Oops, sorry. That's good. There. 2 little happy pickles. Okay. And then just make sure you've got, now we want to name our cheeses. Okay, so everyone knows what they're eating. So we've got a little Boursin, which is like a creamy mix of a bunch of different cheeses. What's in that?
It's got, I think some
like a little blue
cheese, maybe a little
cream
goat.
cheese. Yeah, some goat. So
Lots
it's like
of
nice,
herbs.
it's a nice creamy spread with a bunch of herbs in it. And then we have our Havarti, which is just a nice mellow. A lot of kids like that because it has flavor, but it doesn't have a lot of flavor. It's kind of a buttery texture. So I think that's a nice little treat. And then we have our brie, which of course is very distinctive. It's got that sharp creaminess to it. And our Roquefort, of course. I'll put this on the other side. There we go. You might have to put a little something behind it so it sticks or stays. Kind of. There. Yeah. All right. And then, you just want to look to see, there's not a lot of board that's showing, but I feel like the more you've got on there and how you feel like if it's missing something, you see a little blank spot in there, just shove something in there. If you've got some tomatoes on the counter, throw some little red tomatoes in there. And I think people appreciate just how pretty a board is, because that's really like what is all about a charcuterie board is how pretty you made it, and just it's all about presentation. So you'll just want to make sure that your board is filled. You can see a little bit of the edge of the board because everyone loves to see what a pretty board you've got, and that's a lot of the compliments that I get is like, wow, what a great board you've got. And it encourages people, I think, to find boards for themselves to do.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
So what about like for your cheeses that you need like a cracker or a bread? Do you do that separate?
Yes. I like we do a lot of boards that people are a make and take type board. And so those boards need to go in the fridge. And I just have come to the practice of not putting the actual cracker on that board. So I usually just do like a second plate or a small little bamboo platter or something that goes along with it. And what's nice is that Shayla has her kids' board here, which is so pretty and so creative. I love it. That we've got pretzels, we have some cheese sticks, and we've got regular crackers that both sides can pick from. That I think that it's a nice variety that we can all kind of share. And if the kids want to come over here, because all of these things I think kids will pick from. And it's just nice that the kids are included, because Shayla's our only child. And so when we do things, she's always included, and she eats all the same food we do: steaks, lobster, salmon, all those yummy things. Well. She's the one who's requested, hey, we haven't had lobster in a while. So So we, you know, she's always included in all of these boards, and these are probably one of her favorite things to eat, huh? Yeah. And you can also do a little bit of like nice soft, a crusty bread with some bread dipping oils and that kind of thing. So we've got that on the side. And then I always finish it with a little bit of green because green makes everything pretty. And I usually shove that in around the grapes. I'll just stick these grapes. There we go. Okay. I always have fresh herbs in the house. So sometimes it's parsley, sometimes it's rosemary, sometimes it's a few sprigs of long thyme that have the little flowers on it if it's the right time of year. And it just pops the board. I mean, just a little bit of green just makes it so pretty like that. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe.